Welcome to My Daily Thread. It's a great little place to get a snippet of wisdom from the yoga and the meditation masters to start or to end your day. I'm Jeff Lichty. All right, everyone, welcome back. Here we go. Let's jump right in. This is our relationship week. Ooh, why in the world did I get myself into this trouble? I don't know, mostly because I need it myself more than anything else, and so I need to formulate my thoughts and yap to you about it. But where has this come from? Well, it came from the second chapter, verse 20, where we talked about the seer only seeing through the lens of the mind, only seeing through our past conditioning. And so the first day of the week, I wanted you to think about how are you showing up in your relationships? And still, this question can percolate in the background. How are you showing up? And what are some of the simple shifts that you can make? The second day, we talked a little bit about our triggers and watching what happens in the mind before you speak. And the idea or the question was to ask, is this coming from clarity or is it coming from conditioning? And then yesterday we talked about, is this really about them? Or is it a story? And we are great storytellers. That's the Chitta Vrittis. That is the very start of the Yoga Sutras. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is getting control of all of the chirping of the mind stuff, all of the stories we tell ourselves, all of the vrittis that come from age-old conditioning, from personal experiences, big T or small t traumas. It doesn't matter. This is Chitta Vritti. And so yesterday we talked about how we are the story makers and we are making up stories in our minds. And when you think about it, when I'm feeling blamed or when I'm feeling judged, when I'm feeling triggered, the first thing I need to do is pause. And then as Patabi would say, you breathe, you pause, you stop. You got to take a stop. Get still for a second. But then that question yesterday was, is this really about them or is this about me? Day one, we were thinking about how are you showing up? Day two, clarity. Is this my clarity or is this my conditioning? And then yesterday was, is this really, and let me add a few more really, is this really about them? Am I blaming them? Am I complaining about them? Or is this about me? Is this the story that I've been telling myself? Speaking of stories, would you just hit that subscribe button? Would you do that thing that will help in the podcast world? Would you write a little review? Even better if you make it a 5-star review. But hey, I'd never tell you what to do. All right, let's move on with the content for the day. So yesterday's topic works perfectly into today's, which is finding the stillness and listening. That's the most healing thing we can probably do or offer in our relationships, in our primary relationships. And that is that idea that I can learn to cultivate stillness in myself. I can learn to zip it. I think of that Mike Myers movie. What was it? Dr. Evil says, www.zip it. He's talking to his tongue. It's like zip, zip, zip. Like anytime he tried to speak, he tried to shut his son up. But listen, this is what I need to do most for myself. I need to learn to figure out how to be calm, even in all of my mental fluctuations. And then I need to be still, close my yapper, zip it shut, don't interrupt. Zip it shut and don't interrupt. That's a good name for this title. See if I can remember it. Zip it up, don't interrupt, and then truly be present. Be present to listen. And that's the key today. Can you cultivate presence? Pure and steady awareness. True presence is going to come from that capital S self, that seer inside, that pure awareness. And that pure awareness doesn't need to do anything. The pure awareness doesn't need to rush in and fix the problem, although I always find myself wanting to do that. I'm trying to fix problems for people. I don't need to interrupt, and I don't need to finish people's sentences. I don't need to finish their thoughts. And I don't need to defend. Pure consciousness, pure awareness, that which makes me up, that spirit inside of me that is greater than everything around me. As Viktor Frankl said, that ability to choose my attitude in any given situation. And this is Viktor Frankl saw his whole family killed in Auschwitz. When we think of it this way, I need to learn to cultivate that idea of non-reaction. cultivate listening. I have one mouth and two ears, so I should be listening at least twice as much as I am speaking. And so it's this kind of presence that really makes healing possible in relationships. This presence really makes deep connection possible. And isn't that what we want? We want to be securely connected to our people. So today, as you go out, this is what I want you to think about. Whatever conversation you find yourself in, I want you to pause, be still inside, feel that deep, magical place of stillness inside you, and practice deep listening. Don't prepare what your reply is going to be. Oftentimes I'm in a conversation, I'm already thinking about what I need to say in order to fix. No, just be there. Be there fully and listen with your whole awareness. Listen with your capital S self, with that clarity. So today's practice, just listen and shut it. Just shut it. Shut it up. Shut it up. Shut. Okay, friends, you get the idea. All right, go forth. Conquer your relationships. Much love to you all. Om. Peace out. And have you been having a little bit of difficulty getting still enough to just sit in your moments and listen deeply? I'm happy to give you a hand with that. Reach out, jefflichty.com, fill out the contact page, and let's chat. All right, peace out.